Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Am I the A-hole? Story 1. AITA for not wanting my friend to come to my house. I'm a 30YF, no kids by choice. I don't have the patience lol. My friend has 2 kids, one of them is a hyper child who doesn't listen to rules. My friend has been telling me she and the kids want to come over to see my pets. The kids bug the crap out of my pets. I always tell them to please not bother my pets as they aren't very friendly when annoyed. The kids also like to lay on the ground and then lay on my clean couches and put their dirty feet on my accent pillows, and my friend doesn't say anything. So when my friend talks about wanting to see me, I just tell her that I'll go over instead, but she always says no because the kids want to see my dogs. I just end up telling her I'll let you know. AITA. Story 2. AITA for asking my mom to make me dinner. Hi all. This quote literally just happened. I had a work injury on Sunday which caused nerve damage in my right foot. Monday, Wednesday have been spent in and out of doctors' offices and not really getting any answers. Yesterday, the doctor told me I need crutches as the way I was walking was prolonging the injury. Today is Thursday. It's late and I've just woken up. I am having back cramps. I took a shower and kinda suffered through it. I asked my mom if she'd mind making me some dinner. Note, by dinner I mean stuff literally out of a box. I'd do it myself, but you'd have to move a heavy pot of water. I could try, but my movement is limited by a crutches or be an office chair. She says no and tells me to do it myself. I ask how I'm supposed to get the water and she tells me to fill up the pot, move it, hop, move it, repeat. My sister tries to encourage me. I sarcastically say thanks. My mom said she works early tomorrow and that she was on the way to bed. It's been 10 minutes. She is still talking to my sister. AITA? I feel like maybe I'm being unreasonable. Story 3. AITA for insisting on going home. Apologies for formatting as I am on mobile, as well as any grammar or spelling mistakes because it's 11 p.m. TLDR at the end. So, some context. I, 21F, work in pest control. I am on the road a lot, often 4 days a week. My truck is my office, as I cover a route that takes roughly 6-7 hours to drive across, northern Canada. The main company office is in a city 4 hours from my hometown, 8 hours from the far end of my route. My boss, 49ISHM, prefers a hands-off style of management. To the point where he tells me to make my own decisions and figure things out myself unless they are huge issues. Now, yesterday, my truck died. First the heat went, a big problem in northern Canada, then it wouldn't start and I had to get a jump start from someone, and then as I was driving to the mechanic shop I couldn't go faster than 20 km/h because it would overheat. Basically, big problems. So I am in a town that is roughly 3 hours away from home, unable to work or go anywhere unless I walk. It's also been raining since yesterday, and my work uniform coat is not waterproof. I am staying in a hotel, but it's a cheap one, and my boss hadn't made any plans to come get me. Or to send someone. Or rent me a vehicle. My boss is paying for the hotel and my food, but I am not being paid to stay in this little town with barely anything here. I called my boss and told him that I wanted to go home. He told me to wait until the mechanic can diagnose the truck, which is fair. I asked him about beyond that, as they are hopefully going to look at it tomorrow afternoon and we don't know when it will be fixed. He told me that I should stay in the hotel here, rather than go home, because if I go home he has to figure out a way to get me back here to get the truck. I'd like to point out that so far he's done very little to arrange anything. I called the mechanic, I found someone to jump-start my truck, I've explained the situation to the accounts I was supposed to do this week. But today was kind of the last straw. He has no plans to get me home, despite the fact that the repair could very well not be done before the weekend. Here's where I might be the asshole. I arranged a ride home and told my boss that unless the truck will definitely be fixed Thursday or Friday, I am going home tomorrow night. Even if the mechanic doesn't get a chance to look at the truck tomorrow, I'll go home tomorrow night. My boss seemed upset at this, as it would mean he pays for the gas for my ride, as well as to bring me back out here. I'm just so confused and anxious and tired and I want to go home. My boyfriend told me that I should insist on being paid for today and tomorrow, as my boss knew I was stranded and didn't make any moves to get me home or get me a vehicle. So, AITA for insisting on going home? Dr. got stranded 3 hours from home, boss wants me to stay indefinitely and unpaid. I want to go home and arranged my own ride. AITA? Story 4. AITA for forgetting to return my roommate's butane gas. For context, I suddenly run out of butane gas while I was cooking, so I knocked in his room and no one's answering, so I think he might be asleep so I don't want to disturb him. I had a class, and when I came back I saw him tag me in a group chat sending hostile messages about me borrowing butane. I said sorry and I'll replace it. For context as well, I bought 3 cans of butane gas and I don't know where it went anymore. He also used some of my appliances that I own but I just let him. Right now, he's really mad at me. On my side, I just forgot to tell him right away that I borrowed. I find his anger so petty and irrational. He could have also confronted me in a direct message and not in a group chat. Story 5. AITA for not letting my ex see his child. Ex and I have a 1-year-old together and we broke up almost 2 months ago. To give a brief history, ex racked up $5,000 on my personal credit card, I broke up with him, he left me with the full debt. We used to split costs 50-50ths but since the breakup he hasn't paid a dime towards our toddler since or made any effort to see her unless it was super convenient for him. He has seen her maybe 5 or 6 times for an hour over the last 2 months. Important to know he lives 15 minutes walking distance or 2 minutes driving away. Yesterday he texts me in the evening saying he wants to see her and take her to daycare in the morning. I told him sure. We wake up at 7:30, have breakfast, and leave for daycare at 9. I told him the mornings are not time for play, but if he wants to still be there that's fine. At 8:47 am he's still not at my place to see our toddler, so I text him to see where if he's still coming. He says no, I'm working but I can come later if that's okay. This is not the first time he has cancelled plans last minute to see our little one. I told him no. He can't see her later because I have plans. Then I told him I need some space and to not speak to me for a while, and that means don't try to make plans to see our little one. I'm tired of making plans to fit his schedule only to have him not even show. Thank goodness our child is too little to understand what's going on, and I don't want her to have the experience of constant abandonment by her father so little in life. He says I can't stop him from seeing his child, and I blocked him. I never stopped him from seeing his child before this, he has always cancelled or just not shown up. Am I the A? Edit, added he lives 2 minutes away. Story 6. AITA after my Phil scolded us for only getting my husband's stepmom a sweater for Christmas and demanded we give her a gift card later that week. I don't want to get them gifts for Christmas anymore. AITA. My husband's family is Jewish. His stepmom is a non-practicing Catholic but acts like she's religious. I'm Catholic as well. When I met my husband I thought it was nice they also celebrated Christmas. However, after last year, I see it's just about gifts to my in-laws. They obviously don't celebrate the true meaning, let alone make it all about spending QT with family. My hub's stepmom, received a sweater from us. I was so excited. The woman has everything you can imagine, and my husband always gifts gift cards which I think are lame if you have really good gifts in mind. I found a gorgeous cashmere sweater just as blue as her eyes and was so excited to give it to her. It was obviously expensive as it's a luxury item, but on sale, it was the same amount we always spent on each of them, $150. My husband said, "That's not a good idea." I know my dad. I said, "Well, great, it's not for your dad and I know your stepmom will love it. FF to Christmas." She opens the gift, across the room, Phil stared and didn't say anything. To him, it was just a sweater, as though we spend less on her than everyone else. To me, it was a gorgeous luxury sweater as blue as her eyes that she probably wouldn't have bought for herself on a whim. That night, we fell asleep. Phil had the audacity to call my husband in the middle of the night to demand we tell his stepmom that we forgot to include a gift card along with her gift. In the morning, my husband told me what happened. I was furious. Who does that? And while I'd never expect to defend a gift, I was so mad my husband didn't tell his father he was being ridiculous, and incredibly out of line. I was so mad he didn't just straight up tell him, "It is cashmere, we spent the same on everyone, and she is free to return it as the gift receipt was included." And to have a merry FKNG night. It caused a big fight on Christmas Day. A week later, he actually dropped off the gift card to avoid confrontation. Rather than setting boundaries. Another fight. I told him, we aren't doing Christmas gifts with them anymore, and I want to tell them why. It's not about gifts. I put thought into every one of gifts and I feel they are ungrateful os. I also hope when I host Christmas Eve in the future they don't come. AITA? Story 7. AITA or overthinking. Me, 21F, and my friend, 23F, have been friends since I was in my teens. We've always been super close and still are. For some context, I'm slightly autistic and disabled. I also have too many mental issues for one small girl. It is exhausting. I've never had a problem with her until this year, and I'm not even sure if it's really a problem or if I'm being a bitch and reading too far into things. I've been going through a hard time and shing and not really eating properly. I haven't told her or our friends about this yet, so that's partly why I think I'm overthinking things with her. We have a good friendship group, there's 6 of us all together and I'm so grateful for all of them. But, I feel like she doesn't include me much. ATM, she'll message RGC or tweet about something that everyone knows I enjoy a lot, but she'll only tag one of our other friends in it and express excitement with them about it. I've tried to express my excitement about it too when she does this, but it generally gets ignored. She always talks about how people always cancel on her when they make plans, or she'll suggest something and no one wants to do it with her, but I always stick to plans and do anything she wants with her, apart from 2 concerts recently which I couldn't attend due to having a busy schedule with university and the mental illness I mentioned previously. One of the concerts, I was heartbroken that I couldn't go as it was for a singer who I've wanted to see for years. I've been to concerts with her before and she would be sending videos to our friends in between performances, so I assumed that she would do that for me, especially because I had asked. But guess what I didn't get? However, I know that she sent them privately to one of her friends and probably others too. This is what got me upset the most. I don't know if I've done something and upset her or what. I do genuinely think that she's simply forgetting, but I can't help but think I'm being taught when I get upset about stuff. Sorry this has gotten long, but really any judgment would be great. I really don't want to lose her as a friend. I know I should talk to her about what's going on, but I don't know how. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.